with them what they're putting out. And so, if you fall into fearing something, the likelihood of that becoming your experience is massively increased. I've experimented with this through my life, and you know, I had very serious rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, I remember on one occasion I was trying to walk through Terminal 5 at Heathrow Airport, and literally I was shuffling my feet. I had no shoes on. I was shuffling my feet along towards the plane because I couldn't even lift my legs. I don't have that now. I have no pain. It doesn't affect my life in any way. And the difference is, I changed my perception. See, why is it that so many people die within the period that the doctor tells them they have to live? How long have I got, doctor? 6 months. They die in 6 months, over and over and over again. And you know something? People have been told they have a fatal disease. The doctor has given them a prognosis, you have so long to live, and they've died. And when they've done the post-mortem, they didn't have the fatal disease.
Oh, shit.
Because the mind is all-powerful. It's constantly creating our reality. Its perceptions are constantly becoming our experience. And so I decided that if my reality was being controlled by my perceptions, then my perception is this arthritis is not going to trouble me anymore. And it's not going to progress. And it's not going to have me in a wheelchair and whizzed up. And that's exactly what's happened. No drugs, no doctor. That's exactly what's happened. And everybody has the power to use their mind to dictate their own reality. Why is it that this cult, this system, is so desperate to control human perception? Because it knows human perception becomes human experience. And if we fall into states of fear, we are going to manifest fear, the reasons to fear all around us. But if we take our minds back, we take our consciousness back, we can create a different reality. Because what is human society? It's the sum total of human perception. Human perception changes, human society must change because it's just a reflection of the sum total of human perception. We love each other, we live in a loving world. We hate each other, we live in a world of hate. We fear, we live in a world of fear. We are in control. They've just persuaded us we're not.
So excited about this. And the message you just said, I've heard from some of the greatest minds I've ever sat in my chair, especially ones that have been around for a little while. They come to the same conclusion as you have. We are what we believe, and the energy we put out there is what we get back.
Actually, this book is all about that in a very accessible way, because they say the more you know, the more you know there is to know. Well, yeah, on one level that's right. But there's another way, the more you know, the more you realize how little there is to actually know, to take control of your life and your life experience. And so much of the complexity hides these simple, sparkling truths. Genius. This is the misunderstanding of the academic, intellectual mind. It perceives understanding complexity as intelligence and cleverness, when genius is seeing the simple hidden by complexity. And in the end, when you get down to the core, we are what we perceive. change
It's in the
what
stairway,
you
babe.
perceive,
Walk
and
straight by,
change what you experience.
Yeah, I know. Figured that.
And that applies to right now almost even more.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm not in fear, if I'm not worried about this stuff, then I don't react to it. I had a friend of mine who said, Brian, I don't see you running to the store and buying these things. Or worry about this. I was like, well, I'll just fast or I'll just do this. And actually, I've come to a point where I'm probably more ready to die than I've ever been in my life. Because I feel like I've done a lot of things I need to do. And I don't want to die. But I'm to a point where I'm not always reacting in fear. And I'm trying to think of things from different planes of thought.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel very in power and control and calm.
But you see, when you move your self-identity to I am an infinite point of attention with an infinite state of consciousness, what does that immediately do? It deletes the fear of death. What is death? It's a withdrawing of our point of attention. That's all death is. It's a transfer of our point of attention. That's all it is. So there's nothing to fear. And once you let go of fear of death, so many things that you are able to be manipulated through that fear of death gone. You can't manipulate anymore. Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown? Well, I like surprises. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, just it completely transforms everything when you re-self-identify with the I. And the fear of death is the first one to go. And I'm the same as you. I don't want to leave here until I've done everything I can do to contribute. And I think I'm going to be around for a long time. And in so many ways, and I explain this in the book, we can dictate how long we're around. Again, you know, if the mind can transform rheumatoid arthritis, which should have had me in a wheelchair by now, but hasn't, and won't, then it can transform anything, including the nature of life. You know, I explain in the book how you can think yourself alive and you can think yourself dead. So I'm going to stay around and make the best contribution I can. But when I go, I will be, yes. Do we want to stay in this myopia band of frequency forever? Are you having a laugh? What a nightmare. So it's just an experience. And then we move on and experience the infinity of forever. I mean, oh, I'm terrified. Coronavirus. Oh, gold, we're all going to die. I don't think so.
Final thoughts, David, on everything we talked about today. The virus, the lockdown, the recession, just anything.
Well, I would just say what I said earlier in terms of, if you want to understand the world, find out where we're being taken, what the goal is.
Yes, sir.
And then the world just opens up. Oh, so that's why they're doing that. Oh, so that's why that's happening. Instead of, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, what are they doing that for? It becomes so clear. And what you do is then you take control of your perception. Because it's very difficult to manipulate people, possible to manipulate people, when you understand the game. Because how does problem, reaction, solution manipulate you when you understand how it works? How does the totalitarian tiptoe manipulate you when you understand how it works? Know the game, and you can win the game. Instead of being a victim of the game, which is what's happened up to this point.
That's good advice to anyone watching. Know the game. You will win the game. Remain calm. Separate you from yourself. Understand your infinite consciousness. And then make your decision.
Yeah. Just stay calm. We are an infinite point of eternal consciousness on an eternal journey of exploring all possibility. That's as bad as it gets. This is just an experience. We can make it a nice experience, or we can make it an unpleasant experience. We have the power to choose.
Right.
It's about time we realize that. Because when enough people do, this cult is history.
right time for us to realize this? This could be a great catalyst for realization.
I think it is, Brian. I mean, you know, we need to appreciate the difference between those that control the microphones and so many people, not all by any means, but so many people and gathering in number who don't get to the microphones. You see the activists and the climate cult activists and the coronavirus activists and the friggin' transgender activists and all that. And the politically correct activists. And then you talk to the public and you see a completely different perception of that. But because they dominate the microphones, as of course they do because that's the agenda, people can get the impression that that's what the population thinks. It doesn't. My father used to say, the silent majority is silent because it's got nothing to say. It's time for the silent majority to speak. When we do, things will change, but not until.
That's something you said in the last episode or the episode before. You said for people should always feel free to say how they feel. That's the most important thing. You shouldn't feel like you can't say how you feel. You should say how you feel.
Absolutely.
It simply comes to self-respect. I ask people, what are you doing allowing someone else to tell you what to think, to tell you what you can say, to tell you what you can believe? What are you doing? Where's your self-respect? And we live in a world of psychological fascism where people are constantly seeking to impose their beliefs on other people. We see it with religion all the time. We see it with the woke mentality all the time. I believe this, so you must believe that. And if people acquiesce to that, then tyranny rules. And if we don't, if we say, you can call me what you like, and people do, I don't care. Call me this, call me that, call me the other. Well, thanks for sharing that with me. Have a nice day. But you say it anyway. And if enough people say it and refuse to bow to this psychological tyranny, imposing on our lives what we can be, what we can say, what we can think, the number of people being imposed upon is vast compared with the number of people doing the imposing. I think I see a way out of this. You know, stiffen the backbone, grow a pair, say what you believe, have self-respect in your own uniqueness, and don't let anyone take it away. And if we live in a world of multiple uniqueness, where everyone is celebrating their own uniqueness, all part of the same consciousness, yes, but their own unique point of attention, then that true diversity means tyranny can't reign.
Joe Dispenza, but mostly Bruce Lipton because I knew he was, anyways.
What the fuck happened there? Oh, that was the end, I guess. Ha, my bad, yo. So yeah, that's King David. Oh, not King David. I don't mean he's a king or anything like that. Don't worship anyone. Don't worship anything. Don't worship any god. Realize that all those gods are within you. And yeah, perception, what you perceive, your identity. Choose your identity. Don't let someone else choose your identity for you. Don't let someone else tell you who the fuck you are. You are who you can be or who you want to be. Live up to your potential that people keep saying that, you're not living up to your potential. Well, what the fuck is that potential? You gonna tell me what potential is? Do you have an idea in your mind? And I'll tell you if I want to be that idea or not. Or just, no, I reject that I'm not living up to my potential. I'm not living up to the potential you're picking for me. But I am trying to find my own potential and create and live up to that. And that's what's fucking important. Fuck everybody else. Fuck what they think. Do what you want to do. Don't blame anybody else for your mistakes either. Because if you're doing what you want to do, and then you do the wrong thing, don't be like, well, fucking Corey and David Icke and Ralph Smart and Frater and Birch and Greg Braden and